Let it go. Let it roll right off your shoulder, don't you know? The hardest part is over, let it in. Let your clarity define you in the end. We will only just remember how it feels. Our lives are made in these small hours, these little wonders, these twists and turns of fate. Time falls away, but these small hours, these small hours still remain.
Hi YouTube. Okay, this video is going to be roughly something along the lines of choosing your own pagan tradition. Now, I'm not talking about where you have to be Wiccan or Druid or anything like that. This is more along the lines of my opinions, and I'm completely open to hearing anyone else's opinions on this subject. I'm sure that to some this is probably a very controversial topic, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying that my views are set in stone. I'm not saying that my views are the only views, so for whoever's watching this, please take this with a grain of salt. Not too terribly long ago, a few months ago, I found the video channel for a woman named Lori Cabot. I don't know who's familiar with her, but she is the mayor of Salem, Massachusetts. She is, to my knowledge at least, one of the oldest witches that has lived in North America. I am unfamiliar with any others, but I haven't done a whole lot of research on the subject. But getting back on topic, she made a video, I want to say it was Becoming a Witch, and it was only like 3.5, maybe 4 minutes, but something that she said in there, it bothered me a little bit. Now, this is in no way meant to disrespect Miss Cabot. I have a very deep respect for her, and I think that her unbelievable wealth of knowledge on the craft is a fantastic thing. So I have a very deep respect for her. But she commented in that video that you shouldn't be eclectic, and that you should choose a path and stick to it for your entire life. Now, again, this is my opinion. I've been practicing for, well, publicly, for 13 years. I didn't know it at the time, but I was also practicing as a child. This sounds weird, but I was actually practicing my own form of witchcraft when I was between the age of like 4 and 6. I could go outside, I could commune with nature, commune with stones and crystals, and when I say stones, I mean like pebbles. I could almost hear them in a way. It's like their energy resonated with my own. And I was a young child, so to be doing that and not have any formal training, not have a true tradition, it stands to reason that maybe choosing a path is not necessarily a necessity as much as it's more a personal choice. So in taking that into perspective, and the fact that I have a very deep respect for Miss Cabot and her knowledge and her choice to be on a set path and everything, my opinion on the subject is you should always do what feels right to you. Another part of this has to do with family traditions. I'm well aware not all families have pagan traditions. Most families have a one of the traditional single godhead religions. Christianity is the biggest one. There's Judaism, Islam, most of the Abrahamic kind of religions. But there's also a movement of Christio-paganism, which works very closely with angels and everything, and I've found that one to be very fascinating. It's not my personal cup of tea, but to each their own. And but there's family traditions. Some families they will teach and just pass down their set traditions through the generations, and that's wonderful. I would have loved to have that. It would have been so fun. But again, not all families are going to have their own pagan traditions. Some families don't think that paganism is right. Some families think that paganism is the only one that's right. Some families are kind of on the edge on either side, half and half, which again is cool. That's to each their own. But I would like anyone's opinion on how they perceive that. And moving on to the next section of this, heredity, or not heredity, heritage. Well, take me for example. Heritage in choosing your spiritual path. I am an eclectic witch, and I kind of have, in a weird way, forged my own path. I feel like that girl that's got a walking stick, and she's broken off from the hiking trail, and she's just kind of moving through the bramble and the underbrush and everything. She's just making her own path through the woods. Why not? It's an adventure. And isn't that kind of part of life? Make your own adventure. But heritage versus your own spiritual path. This is kind of tying back into Lori Cabot's thing of pick a tradition and stick to it. What if your heritage drives you? How many of us are truly all one heritage or all another heritage? I have Italian and French and Scottish and Irish and German heritage all in me. And I feel that if I was to do a path based on my heritage, that it stands to reason that some part of me would feel neglected in a way. I have a very strong tie to my Italian heritage, Sicilian to be specific, and I feel like if I only acknowledge that part of me, that I'm doing a disservice and a dishonor to the rest of my heritage, because I have a very multicultural background, and that really plays into how I practice. So to choose something like straight up Dianic or Alexandrian or Gardnerian or something along that line, it doesn't feel right to me. Now, it may feel right to many other people, and that's perfectly fine. Again, these are just my opinions. But I feel like I'm doing a disservice to myself if I only choose a tradition that only kind of works with one form of heritage. But at the same time, I feel like it is also important that I kind of agree with Lori that choosing a tradition can be a very good thing. She kind of went on to say that choosing your tradition, it sets up the stage for your life that that you kind of you have a set thing to learn. You're not learning this and then you learn this and then you learn this and then you learn this, and you're hoping that all of it meshes together. You've got a set tradition and it's all laid out in front of you and you just learn it. It's like taking a course in high school. And I agree to an extent with that, but at the same time, what happens if you come across something in your chosen tradition that doesn't resonate with you? I started practicing Wicca at 13, and around 16, 17 years old, there were just certain parts of it that they didn't resonate with me, so I had to change. I couldn't label myself as Wiccan, so I changed to label myself as Pagan, because I know paganism is kind of an umbrella term, and I didn't want to get caught up in all of the trappings and the labels and everything, so I call myself Pagan. I'm a witch at heart. I'm a witch in my everyday life, but I can't call myself Wiccan. I can't call myself one thing or the other. I am Pagan, and that's just me. But I would love to hear everyone else's opinions as to what tradition do you practice, how did you decide for yourselves what tradition you were going to practice. Do you think maybe in 5 or 10 years from now you will still be on this traditional path? Do you think maybe you would migrate to another path or become eclectic? Or does your heritage or your family tradition or your culture, does that play a part in your practice? And how does that help you spiritually grow? I would love anything, standard comments or video responses. I would love to know everyone's opinion on this matter, because again, these are only my opinions. I can't speak for anyone but myself, and I would love to know what other people are thinking on the topic. And I would love to hear from you guys as soon as you have the chance. So this is me signing off, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!
Let it slide. Let your troubles fall behind you. Let it shine till you feel it all